Hey guys, welcome back to the X-Ring. It's a little cold today, but I figured I'd bring you this video because I promised I'd do one on the M1 Garand. Big shout out to Outdoor Research. I'm one of their industry pros, so they outfit me with all this gear and the stuff works great. If you haven't ever checked them out, check them out. So, M1 Garand, this is what I said helped change the face of this nation because it was actually the first semi-automatic rifle issued to an entire army. You got to remember, everyone was shooting bolt actions at the time, and so in the development in the 1920s and 30s, they really wanted to come up with something that was semi-automatic, hence the M1 Garand. Not Grand like G-R-A-N-D, but G-A-R-A-N-D. It's named after John Garand. I think he worked for Springfield Armory, but this is what he came up with. Now, initially, when they were trying to design this, I think it was them and Craig were in the trials for it, but this is ultimately the winner. I don't believe it was originally chambered in 30-06, and this was supposed to be a 10-round magazine or 10-round clip, if you will, and that's going to get us on another thing. These things shoot in-block clips. So guys like us that hear someone call a magazine a clip, this is a clip, okay? So this in-block clip actually holds 8 rounds, and you can load them up. Sometimes they have, you can see these where they have 2 in there, but you can see how it kind of holds everything together, just like that. And it's pretty cool, and basically what it does is you just drop it in like this, almost like some of the stripper clips, like in the 30-06 and that 03 that I reviewed. They actually have a stripper clip where you could just quickly just push down on it and load it. But I want you guys to see the internal mechanism here. This is the Springfield Armory, and basically this right here moves left and right. If you push down on this, this bolt closes, and that's why you hear the term Garand thumb. And that's usually for people that did not load this properly, and then their finger gets smashed between there and in the bolt, the thumb does. So that's it. Now your rear sights, I want to go over the sights really quickly. Now this is not like a national match where it's got a hooded aperture or anything else, but you've got your elevation adjustment here, okay? And it has positive detents or clicks. This one probably needs a little bit more pressure on it because I'm not hearing that snap for the adjustments. And then here I've got the windage, and you've got your windage indicators here, very similar to that 1903. The buttstock here actually has a little trap door for your cleaning supplies and whatnot. Your safety is going to be here, so push that to the rear, and then your safety is engaged, push away, and then now the safety is off. There's all kind of different things for this. They had winter triggers, you know, for shooting with gloved hands and whatnot. That mechanism goes in here, but you guys can see this. It is a gas-operated rotating bolt system. And you guys can see the little plug here. You actually have a tool where you can take that out, and you have this op rod that goes all the way up through here. Now be careful shooting these. You want to shoot ammunition that was made for it, because if you shoot some hot ammunition, you can bend your op rod or spring it, and you're looking at pretty big bucks for those nowadays. These things aren't cheap any longer. I remember getting started shooting, it used to be called DCM, Division of Civil Marksmanship, and basically it was a program to get guys interested in long-range shooting, to be able to make marksmen out of civilians. That was DCM, and that was bought out years later by a company called CMP. And so basically if you shot a match, you could order one of these, and I remember when these were a couple $100. You're not going to find that for those kind of prices anymore. But gas-operated rotating bolt system, that's what it is. This little switch here on the side, that is how you're going to release the in-block clip if you want to go ahead and get it out of there. And I'll show you how to load it. So basically you're going to put it to the rear. The way I was always taught is you take your in-block clip, and before you start to put any downward pressure, what you're going to do is you're going to block it with the blade part of your hand here so that it can't close on you. We're going to push this straight down. Once it locks, I release. Now we are hot, ready to go. I've got the safety on. We've got one chambered. Let's go ahead and shoot this at 100 yards. I'm going to do this in the prone position, and we'll see what kind of groups we can get out of it. I have never shot this rifle. All right, guys, so in typical old school fashion, like I said, I've never shot this rifle, so I want to make sure I can get it on paper. I'm going to go ahead and go in the prone position. We did the 03 in the sitting position. We're at 100 yards. I'm just going to hold it on this bull, and we'll see what we get. All right, so the safety's coming off. Safety's back on. Let's see what we get on this. All right, guys, so that first round, like I said, never shot the rifle. Elevation's pretty good. Those are minute clicks. So every click that I come up on the elevation knob, because it's not a hooded aperture, I don't have the half in minutes. So I could probably come up one more click, and then I need to go to the right 8 inches or so. So we'll make that adjustment. We'll see where this next shot hits. All right, guys, so I moved my windage knob for the impact to the right. Let's see what happens. I didn't go as much as I thought I would need to go, but we'll see what we get on the impact. Let's go check it out. So coming over left to right, it's about right. I could have went over a hair more, but that was the first shot. We made the adjustment. Let me come down one click again, because I did actually go up thinking that it would do it. Let's see what we can do on a 3-shot group. All right, guys, so now we're pretty close. Let's just do a 3-shot group, and then I will shoot at some steel. You're gonna see what's gonna happen at an M-block clip. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. So 3-shot group, 100 yards. All right, that's a 3-shot group. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, so we did a 3-shot group. This is kind of what I was actually expecting out of my 03 when I shot it, but here's 100 yards. That's a 3-shot group. That measures 1 inch at 100. Now, I wasn't shooting that off of a bench or off bags. I was shooting it with a sling. Yes, I'm using that 1962 match ammunition, but that's iron sights, guys. So first shot, we made the adjustment. Then I just did a 3-shot group, and I was locked in pretty well. But, you know, guys, I'll take it. It's incredible what these rifles will do, especially at 600 yards. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hit some steel. I've got 2 rounds in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys see what happens to that M-block clip. I want you to listen to it. And we're going to go for the steel at 100. All right, first steel. Here we go. Man, that's a solid hit. That thing is swinging like crazy. All right, so here we go on the last shot. And we'll see what happens. Watch the action, guys. So you heard that. You heard that big clink. You might have heard the steel down there as well. But there was a lot of discussion about these, saying that back during the war, the Germans would wait till they heard the ping of the clip, you know, coming out, and then they would know that you were empty. And so there was a lot of people that said, you know, GIs would actually take these and ping them to make it sound like it was out, but they actually had more ammo left. I don't know if that's fact or fiction, but that's what happens. And you would take another M-block, you'd put it in here, and then you continue firing. So awesome weapon. You know, George Patton, or General Patton, actually said this was the single most important thing that changed the face of the battlefield, the most important tool. Because you got to think, it was coming from a time when guys were shooting bolt-action guns, and you got a guy with 8 rounds of semi-automatic, especially with that 30-06, with the range that it had. Just incredible weapon. Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something about the M1 Garand. We'll do a review of an M1 carbine next.